We have been building to this event for weeks and weeks, and it is finally here, Urban Warfare Night 1. And we are kicking it off tonight of Night 1, Match 1, the Great Gomez versus Slug in our opener. Two big athletic men ready to lock it up in the ring right now.
Standing 6'4" and weighing in at 305 pounds. He is a luchador with over 35 years experience and a former WWL World Champion. He is the Great Gomez.
And here he is, the Great Gomez, over 3 decades of experience. He is coming to the ring here tonight, making his BCW pay-per-view debut. He has had a rivalry brewing with Slug over the last few months, and they are finally getting the opportunity to lock it up here one-on-one. And here comes his opponent.
Introducing the man known as Slug.
And here he comes, Slug. As we've seen there, he has a record of 2 wins and 3 losses, and the 2 wins that he has have both come by way of tag team matches against the Great Gomez. He's up 2-0 against the Great Gomez, and the Great Gomez, well, he has something to say about that. He knows that one-on-one he can beat Slug, and that's what he is hoping to do here tonight. Can he pull it off, or will Slug pull off the big upset in our opener? Fight. And here we go. The bell has rung. The pay-per-view is underway, and what a way to kick it off. If you want to come out hot in a match on a pay-per-view, you hit a Poison Rana as the first move. And there he is admonishing him now. Great Gomez coming out hot, reckless abandon, not holding anything back, and a stiff shot there right to the nose of Slug. And this could be it. This is the finishing maneuver. It looks like, oh, he's waiting for him to get up. Of course, the frog splash is the finishing maneuver of the Gomez family. And a big Rana there and hooks the legs. Could this be it? Kicks out after one. I thought he was going for broke right away in this match. Knocking him down and going for that big splash. It is a Gomez specialty, but just opting to fight him and take him down and hit him with the shots. Really punishing Slug. The Great Gomez, as I mentioned, he is super hot when it comes to Slug. He has faced him in tag matches, and Slug has come up on the winning end 2 times. Oh, and a big splash there. Could this be it? Just mentioned the big splash. Oh, and a kick out at 1. The Great Gomez has lost twice to Slug in tag team matches, and he knows that he can beat him one-on-one. He has over 30 years experience, and he wants to teach Slug a lesson. We can tell by the moves that he's doing here, just going for those shots to the face, hitting some big moves, big springboard dropkick that Slug just shrugs off. Swatting him out of the air, and Slug with that big elbow to the back of the head. It's the shots you don't see coming that do the most damage, and that was a big elbow to the back of the head and just chopping down that big tree now. And both these men, over 6 feet tall, both over 300 pounds, both extremely athletic. As we've seen the Great Gomez, he is not shy to do those lucha moves, to go to the top rope and use the ropes to springboard. Slug quite athletic himself. He has that cannonball maneuver that utilizes all his weight. So this is a fantastic opener for a pay-per-view. 2 big athletic men just doing everything they can to pick up the victory. And the Great Gomez to that big elbow to the outside. It looked like Slug tried to roll away. He was on his back, tried to roll to his stomach, and still got hit, got obliterated. And the one wrinkle to this match is that both men, not official members of the BCW roster, they were both brought in. Well, the Great Gomez was brought in to help his brother Sergio, and Slug, when he made his debut against Sergio Gomez, it was just to give a young up-and-comer an opportunity, and he made the most of that opportunity, and he has parlayed it into a stay here in BCW and a suicide dive. That is one of the reasons that Slug has parlayed it, is moves like that, a suicide dive from a 300-pounder and a big running slam to the outside. Those mats are paper thin. But if he wants to win, he's got to get the Great Gomez back in the ring, but just clubbing him with blows and just taunting him here. So Slug has parlayed his one match that he had into a 5-match stay here in BCW. The Great Gomez came in to help his brother. He has done much of the same, but both these men not under contracts, so this could be huge for them. Of course, the Great Gomez, he has competed in Mexico. He's competed all over the world for about 3 decades. Goes for the cover 2. He kicks out. But this has got to be the biggest match for Slug. It is a pay-per-view match. It's the opening contest, and he's in front of the biggest crowd he's ever been in, and he hits it with a huge choke slam. And there he is, just soaking it in. As I mentioned, the biggest crowd that Slug has ever competed for, and he wants a win. He wants to bring that record to 3-3, get it at 500. Oh, and a big move there. Oh, and goes for a quick cover, right into the cover. He did a lot of damage on that one. Great Gomez kicks out. So can these men stay focused? Can they keep their nerves in check, or is the pressure going to get to them? Oh, and Slug went for the big splash himself, but came up short, and the Great Gomez fires back with a huge shot to the face. Rearranging some of the facial features on that one. Slug reverses Great Gomez with a back kick, and both these men so evenly matched. It has been back and forth, back and forth. Oh, and he's going here. Signature maneuver, the vertebreaker. Could this be it? He hit it. Could it be over? Slug kicks out. Signature maneuver there of the Great Gomez, the vertebreaker. Just opting to go for that big shot again. Both these men have been flipping and flying around the ring, but they are 300 pounds, and sometimes just a stiff right hand is all you need. Got him with the clotheslines here. Bumping and feeding there, and the Great Gomez is feeling it. He is getting some of that momentum behind him. Shoots the half. Goes for the cover right in the middle of the ring. Slug kicks out. But the Great Gomez, using that experience, not getting frustrated, just keeps going for move after move. Big elbow drop there. The Great Gomez knows not to get frustrated, just to keep chipping away, and he will get the results that he's looking for. Slug throws him in the corner. Oh, knocks him down. Huge shot to the gut, and that cannonball, as I mentioned. Hits him with that cannonball, and what's he going for now? Looking to hit him with another big maneuver. Great Gomez elbow to the head. Oh, and Slug with the spear. Slug knows that you cannot let the Great Gomez chain together a series of moves. As soon as the Great Gomez gets something going, you got to shut him down. What's he going for here? Waiting for him to get back up. He's got something big planned. Top rope cannonball! And playing it up to the crowd, and I think that's a mistake there. Slug has got to go for the covers. He's got to keep the pressure on. As I mentioned, it's the biggest crowd he's ever been in front of, and he's got a big opportunity in front of him, but you cannot play to the crowd when you have a veteran the likes of the Great Gomez. Celebrate before the match, celebrate after the match, but you got to have your nose to the grindstone when you're facing the Great Gomez. This is what he's got to do, series of elbows. Oh, and the misdirect and a shot, stomping on the face, and keep stomping on the face. That's exactly what Slug needs to do, moves like that. He's got to have a sense of urgency. This is the opener on pay-per-view. Just soaking it up again, perhaps trying to utilize some mind games here from Slug. But really giving the Great Gomez an opportunity to get back in this match. With 3 decades, you gotta just keep the pressure on. Oh, looked like he was going for a big move. Great Gomez reverses into the vertebraker again. Could this be it? Perfect camera angle, referee in perfect position. Got him. The Great Gomez uses every bit of that 3 decades plus of experience. Hits the vertebraker and gets the win in this opener. And it was, the story of this match was just a lot of big moves. And I think it was that experience of the Great Gomez. He knew to keep his nose to the grindstone, keep the pressure on, and that will yield the win. And that's exactly what happened. Slug getting a bit overzealous, I think. Getting a little bit too swayed by this crowd, and he came up short on this one.
Here is your winner via pinfall, the Great Gomez.
Well, congratulations to the Great Gomez picking up the victory in this hot opener for Urban Warfare.
Steel Dragon, tonight is the night where we find out if the BCW Dojo is better than the SJPW Dojo. Tonight, the world finds out that you are a bitter old dinosaur who trains his students out of fear and intimidation. And I think you do this for one simple reason. You are terrified that one of your students will surpass you. Sure, you want your hand-picked pupil Kensho to win the world title, but what about Shizu and Kenzoku? They don't deserve to be slapped around. You sicken me, and this whole crossover between BCW and SJPW is done. Parker, Roberts, and myself are sending you back to Japan, tonight.
Steel Dragon, it is obvious that you don't have any respect for us. You have beaten us down physically, mentally, and emotionally, and we will not take it any longer. Tony Rizzo has shown us what a terrible leader you are, and we deserve better.
That's right. Don't expect us to team with you tonight because we quit.
And there we go. We had a bombshell just dropped on us there. We have Shizu and Kenzoku. They have quit the SJPW Dojo. How will that affect the main event? We're going to find out, but we have match number 2, The Tool versus Fancy Dan in our second matchup here tonight. 2 young, hungry BCW wrestlers looking to prove themselves here tonight.
Standing 5 feet 11 inches tall and weighing 185 pounds, from wherever he is told, The Tool.
And here we go. We have The Tool, a man who marches to the beat of his own drum. He's got his own style. He's got his own way of doing things. And he is looking to go up 2-0 on Fancy Dan here tonight. Of course, this is the rematch. These two faced each other a few weeks ago with The Tool picking up the victory. It was a huge upset as Fancy Dan was heavily favored to win that one-on-one match. But The Tool picked up the victory. Can he do it again here tonight on pay-per-view when the lights are bright and the stakes are high? We're going to find out. Here comes his opponent.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Fancy Dan.
And as we can see there, Fancy Dan 0-1 versus the Tool, looking to get the win here tonight and even up that score. I think he knows that he can beat the Tool. He just came up short last time. But on pay-per-view, when the pressure's high and the lights are bright, can he get it done? We're going to find out. This is going to be an amazing second match here. We got two men that are young, hungry, full of exuberance and energy, and they're looking to prove themselves on pay-per-view here tonight. And here we go, the bell is rung, the match is underway. Second matchup here tonight, Fancy Dan versus the Tool. And getting into this one right off the bat, the size advantage is going to go to Fancy Dan. He's got the size, he's got the strength, he's got a little more bulk to him. The Tool a little leaner, a little meaner. The Tool's got to use his speed, in my opinion. He's got to use his technical prowess. Whereas Fancy Dan, he's got to use that size, that power. And both these men, they had quite the match the first time. Of course, in the first match, Dirty Don tasked the Tool to get the win. Dirty Don was tired of hard limit losing matches, so he gave the ultimatum that if the Tool lost, he would be kicked out of BCW. And the Tool, maybe that was the pressure he needed, because the Tool won that match, but he played that match very, very safe. They didn't do anything crazy in their first match because the Tool, he didn't want to make a mistake. Didn't do a lot of high-risk maneuvers. It was just nose to the grindstone. It was a lot of meat and potatoes kind of moves. But now without that pressure on him, can he still pick up the win? Is he going to do some things that are a little wilder, a little crazier, take a few more chances? We're going to find out. But Fancy Dan just face-washing him right there. Just dropping those elbows to the back. Fancy Dan, he can do some high-flying stuff. We just saw that leg drop. But he is a wrestler that really likes to use his power, likes to keep everything ground-based, doesn't like to take any unnecessary risks, which from a young talent, that's something you like to see. Whereas the Tool, he likes to get a little funky. He's very technical, but he will take risks at times to hit a big maneuver like that and eye the Hurricane. Oh, and he's going for it here. That pump handle, he calls it the toolbox. That's how he won the first one. Can he win it again on pay-per-view? 1, 2. Fancy Dan kicks out, showing some resilience on that one. That pump handle maneuver that the Tool calls the toolbox, and he's looking to fly. Oh! Fancy Dan just swats him out of the air. And just as I mentioned, the Tool taking a little bit more risk this time, and it did not pay off. Might be better suited just to playing it safe. It won him the match the last time, and can it win him this time? Oh, what a big half and half on the outside. Fancy Dan really targeting the head of the Tool. That head and back. Of course, he just landed on his back, and now he's really got that target there. Hitting the spine. Oh, the Northern Lights on the outside. Yeah, Fancy Dan is really going after that back. I think that thud, when we heard it, it was gross sounding and just smashing him there into the steps. Sometimes you have a game plan going into a match, but when something like that happens on the fly, where the Tool just gets his back obliterated after missing that big move, sometimes it changes your strategy, and Fancy Dan able to adapt. Gets back in the ring, these two, they meet up. Throws him in the corner. What's he got here? Looking to take him up high. Oh, and just brutal shots to the face. I thought he was setting him up for a superplex or a hurricanrana or something, but just opposite, just punch him right in the face. And with shots like that, just punched him in the face and now grinding that fist right into the eyes. This, you can tell this is a personal rivalry. Oh, and he's going here. Finishing maneuver there, just slamming his face to the mat. Could this be it now? Fancy Dan hitting that finishing maneuver called the dandy. But it wasn't enough. Both men have taken each other's finishers and they keep kicking out. As I mentioned, this is a personal rivalry. Of course, Hard Limit have been feuding with Fancy Dan and Benson Hicks over the last few weeks. Oh, big elbow drop there. Goes for the cover. 1, 2. Tool kicks out. Oh, and follows him right outside. Not giving the Tool a chance to have any surcease. No breaks here tonight. He is on him like glue and just, oh, beautiful camera angle there, just smashing his face in. Fancy Dan, he wants to win this match, but this is personal. He wants to inflict damage. This is a side of Fancy Dan we haven't seen. Fancy Dan normally just opting to come out there, have a competitive match and get the win, but the Tool and Hard Limit have brought out a different side of Fancy Dan. Oh, and the Tool taunting there, getting in his head. Cuts him off as he gets back in the ring. Oh, and look at that maneuver. Fancy Dan kicks out at 2, but he is hurt, and the Tool can't believe it. Fancy Dan, that could have broke his nose or smashed his head in. Definitely going to have a headache earlier. And what's the Tool doing here? Big moonsault. Oh, misses. I don't know if he got any of those knees on it, but he missed on his stomach. Fancy Dan picks him up. Picks him up, slams him down. 2. Checking his progress, though. Fancy Dan was probably at a 2.5, 2.75. He's going up for another high-risk move. Could this be it? That big elbow drop again. Big elbow drop right across the face of the Tool. The Tool kicks out. What are these men going to have to do to finish off the other one? Fancy Dan soaking it in from the crowd here on pay-per-view, and it looks like he's going for the dandy again. Is he going to be able to hit it? Loads him up, grabs the arms through, spins him, and slams him to the mat. This has got to be it. A lot of damage to that face, too. Got him. Fancy Dan evens the score and makes this rivalry 1-1. He picks up the victory here tonight on pay-per-view. There we go. We see the Tool hitting the toolbox, but it was Fancy Dan hitting that dandy. Lots of real awesome moves from both these men, pulling out tricks we haven't seen from them before. Lots of big, impactful moves. But in the end, it was Fancy Dan picking up the win, evens up the rivalry to 1 win apiece.
Here is your winner via pinfall, Fancy Dan.
Fancy Dan is feeling it here on pay-per-view. He is soaking it up and rightfully deserved. Congratulations to Fancy Dan. And here we go as we head into our 6-man tag main event. We're going to do a bit of a recap on how this main event came to be, and it all started a few weeks ago when Steel Dragon was admonishing the SJPW Dojo. Later on in that episode, it was Steel Dragon versus Tony Rizzo, 1-on-1. They were both coming in hot to that match. They had a lot of aggression. And Steel Dragon only recently came out of retirement. But they had a barn burner of a match. It wasn't very long. It was about 5-6 minutes. And it was all Tony Rizzo in that match. It was almost a squash match. Tony Rizzo hitting some big maneuvers. He hit that big suplex off the top and pinned Steel Dragon and got the victory. But post-match, you could tell Steel Dragon was not done with Tony Rizzo. The rivalry sparked up that night, but that match did not squash it. It was only the fuel for the fire. And that's how we got to the 6-man tag team match here tonight. It's going to be Tony Rizzo and Flips Per Second taking on Steel Dragon and 2 members of the SJPW Dojo. And as we've seen earlier, it will not be Shizu and Kenzoku. They have quit the dojo. So who will Steel Dragon pick as his mystery partners here tonight?
The following contest is your main event of the evening and will be a 6-man tag match.
And it is time. SJPW Dojo versus the BCW Dojo 6-man tag match. But the asterisk to this one, the big question mark, is who will Steel Dragon pick for his 2 partners tonight? It's not Shizu, it's not Kenzoku. He has a lot of talent back in Japan from the SJPW Dojo to pick from. Who's he gonna pick here tonight? Let's find out right now.
Making their way to the ring, from the BCW Dojo, Flips Per Second, and Mr. Tony Rizzo.
And here we go. We got Flips Per Second and Tony Rizzo, collectively known as the BCW Dojo. Tony Rizzo has been training Flips Per Second extra hard the last few weeks, really giving him that killer instinct, drilling in those fundamentals. And they are making their re-debut here tonight in the main event of Urban Warfare Night 1. I don't think the pressure is going to get to them, but they've been training hard, and I'm very, very curious to see what Tony Rizzo's been teaching them. It's been closed doors in terms of their training, but tonight we're going to see what he's taught them and what they can do.
Ladies and gentlemen, this man has over 4 decades of in-ring experience. He is a Japanese wrestling legend and a former SJPW World Champion. He is Steel Dragon.
And here we go, Steel Dragon making his way to the ring with the look of determination on his face that we have not seen. And Steel Dragon is taking this one very, very seriously. We usually see him come out with the robe and the pyro, but he doesn't have any of that here tonight. He is coming out with his ring gear on and straight to the ring with a look of determination. Who is he going to pick for his first partner? Oh, here we go.
Standing 6 feet 4 inches tall and weighing in at 285 pounds. He is a striker and MMA hybrid wrestler, coming to us from Seoul, South Korea, Hongman Kim.
Here we go. The first partner of Steel Dragon is the Korean MMA sensation, Hongman Kim. We saw him when we went to Japan a few weeks ago. He is an MMA wrestling hybrid expert. Super talented. He's got the skills. He is a phenomenal pick. who is the final partner? Who is the third man? Oh, here we go now.
Standing 5 feet 9 inches tall and weighing in at 200 pounds, he is a striker and deathmatch wrestler. He is the deadly Shang Li.
You need backup if you are going into war. You need a general, and there is no better general than the SJPW World Champion, Shang Li. He is one of the prized pupils of Steel Dragon. He has those brutal strikes, those kicks, those elbows, those knees. What a team Steel Dragon has assembled for the 6-man tag here tonight. And here we go. The bell is rung. The match is underway. Dojo Wars here for our main event of Urban Warfare Night 1, and we are kicking it off with Steel Dragon and Tony Rizzo locking it up in the middle of the ring. They are picking up exactly where they left off after their singles match a few weeks ago. And this one I am very, very excited for. Excited to see what flips per second have been taught, what new wrinkles to their game Tony Rizzo has taught them. On the flip side, just with the backup that Steel Dragon has, he has the MMA expert Hongman Kim. He's got the SJPW World Champion Shang Li. This is going to be a barn burner of a 6-man main event. Let's get into it here. Steel Dragon just throwing out PJ Parker. And just smashing Rizzo, covering up the mouth, blocking the air, and just hitting him right in the heart. Steel Dragon, 4 decades of experience, and he's using it all there, and he's taken out the whole BCW Dojo himself. A shot there to Will Roberts on the apron. PJ Parker, of course, the legal man. Oh, and a shot right there to the gut. That could have been a liver punch. That'll take you out. And just a ripcord punch right to the nose. Everyone from the SJPW Dojo is going to be so adept with those strikes. The BCW Dojo, we got flips per second. They're primarily, I'm guessing, going to be flipping around the ring. And Tony Rizzo is going to be that anchor. He's going to be the heavy. He's going to bring the power. But mix it up with some kicks here. PJ Parker really hitting him with some sweet kicks. Goes for the cover. Kick out at 1. That is sending a statement right there. I'm sure that's the edict from Steel Dragon. Oh, and a beautiful flip there. That's why they're called flips per second, people. They are known to flip-flop and fly. They're going to use gravity in the ring to their advantage. And now we got 2 big men here. Tony Rizzo with a ginormous back elbow to the face. Oh, and a tag there, mixing it up. And I think that's where the BCW Dojo may have the advantage, is in the variety. They got the power of Tony Rizzo, and they got the high-flying tactics of flips per second. And I think that combo could prove dividends. Whereas on the other side, they got the SJPW Dojo. Every member is going to be using those kicks, those strikes. And of course, when you're using kicks and strikes, you could have that opportunity for a knockout at any point. So it's not a bad strategy to have. It takes 3 seconds to get a pin, but it takes a second to get a knockout. 1 count there. This one is far from over. Both teams only getting a 1 count. They bring in the leader. They bring in Steel Dragon, who went for that running, flying knee. Will Roberts tries to take him back to his corner, though. Steel Dragon with shots to the stomach. Oh, and some more strikes there. A beautiful knee. Steel Dragon is, I'm guessing, just loving this. Just taking out some of the young boys of Tony Rizzo. Of course, he lost to Tony Rizzo in that match a few weeks ago, and he's looking for revenge. He's looking to beat Rizzo here, but he's also looking to beat the hell out of his students. Oh, And a big collision there in the middle of the ring. Big Rana. We got Will Roberts taking him to his corner. We got Tony Rizzo and Will Roberts with a huge double shoulder tackle right there. Tony Rizzo picking up Shang Li and spinning him around and throwing him to the mat. Oh, but Shang Li evades. Owen goes for a big kick to the gut. Kicks to the leg, kicks to the head. Misses, spins him around. He is like something out of an action movie. So fast with those strikes. You cannot blink or else you're going to get hit with 3 or 4 shots in that time frame. But he has weakened him now, and he brings Steel Dragon back in, and Steel Dragon with a huge kick to the face. That could have been a knockout. I don't know if it's part of their game plan, but the SJPW Dojo, they are doing a lot of kicks, a lot of knees. I think they could be going for that knockout. And now we got the big man in, the 2 biggest men in the match. Both about that 300-pound mark. Oh, when Tony Rizzo got hurt, he had to make the quick tag to PJ Parker. PJ Parker's got to do exactly this. He's got to fly around the ring. He's got to be elusive and abusive. He does not want to get hit with some of the power moves that a Hongman Kim can deliver. Oh! Collision there. Threw him in to the corner, but he just buckled him and he immediately fell. I don't know if that... Oh, and a big shot there for the face. Looked like he was going for the rolling elbow. One of his signatures is the rolling elbow, but Will Roberts shut it down. And maybe that is part of the strategy of flips per second. If you are flipping and flying around, it is a lot harder to hit a moving target. Oh, but a big knee there. That crumpled him. That did a lot of damage. Will Roberts with a big Rana there. Goes for the cover. Can he get the pin on Steel Dragon? If Will Roberts could get the pin on Steel Dragon, if anyone can pin Steel Dragon in this match, that is on par almost with winning a world title. That is an accomplishment. Steel Dragon, a 4-decade veteran. He has trained champions. Oh, and a code breaker there. Goes for the big kick, reversed it. And when you are so adept at striking, when you are so adept at the kicks and the punches, the Muay Thai, the MMA, you can use that in reverse as well. You can use it for striking. You know how to block every one of those moves as well. And PJ Parker just in the wrong corner on that one. Immediately gets smothered by Steel Dragon. PJ Parker right up in his face though, not intimidated at all. And a drop kick to the jaw. Steel Dragon knocking him off the apron. And a short DDT there. BCW Dojo picking up some serious momentum. Kick right to the side. Is he going for a big flippy move here? He's going for a 450. Oh, went for the frog splash. I don't think he had time to set up for that 450. Usually, PJ Parker and Will Roberts, they like to hit a shooting star or a 450 or sometimes a 630. I've seen him hit all those before. But I don't think he had time. I think he just went for the splash, but he didn't even have time for that. Shot right to the spine from Shang Li. Really unloading here. Oh, and the Meteora. That could be it. Looks like Will Roberts is right there, though, to break him up. It's going to be hard for the SJPW Dojo to get one of those pinfalls because flips per second, when they come in the ring to break it up, they are so fast. They can cover so much ground. Referee got hit with a stiff shot, still down. Will any shenanigans happen while the referee is down? Oh, and there he is getting back up. And speaking of getting up, PJ Parker is about to walk into a big, brutal shoulder block. Big, brutal shoulder block from Hongman Kim. It looks like he's getting Getting some words of strategy there from Steel Dragon. What is Steel Dragon telling him to do? Oh, and maybe he told him to go for that key lock. Go for that Kimura. Oh, and Will Roberts takes out the referee. Inadvertent there. He was trying to break up that key lock. That key lock could have did a lot of damage. It was only in for a few seconds, but with a man so big like Hongman Kim and so strong, sometimes that's all you need. That arm could be immobilized. Makes the tag to Tony Rizzo. Much needed tag there, and PJ Parker gets it. Oh, and Tony Rizzo looked like he was going for Steel Dragon, but turns around and gets hit by Hongman Kim. They call him the Destroyer for a reason. Big, brutal kick to the face, but Tony Rizzo shaking it off and just hitting those strikes to the face, smashing his head into the mat. Oh, but Hongman Kim, he makes the tag to Shang Li. Oh, but cuts him off at the pass. And goes for the Rizzo bomb. Oh, and gets him into the pin. Gets the legs. Steel Dragon right there. Kicks him just right in the face. Tony Rizzo tried to throw Steel Dragon out the ring. Steel Dragon recovers. Oh, but goes back to his corner. I think he was trying to go for a sneak attack. Referee told him to get out and get back to his corner. Makes the tag though to Will Roberts and picks him up and down. But again, wrong corner, wrong part of the ring. Steel Dragon right there to hit him with a shot to break it up. Oh, and a big moonsault there. Will Roberts flipping around on that one. Oh, and a misdirect right into a kick. Did not see that one coming, and I don't think Shang Li saw it coming either, but he's got to focus up. They are in the main event of a pay-per-view here tonight, but you got to focus up. I know it pumps you up when you get the crowd going, but makes the tag to Tony Rizzo. Tony Rizzo, big brutal cutter there. Perfect positioning for the ring. Has him in his corner. 2. Got him. BCW Dojo pick up the win in this night 1 main event. Wow, that finish came out of nowhere. Tony Rizzo hitting that huge cutter, and he pins Hongman Kim. Both 6-man teams were on point tonight, but the BCW Dojo had a bit more synergy. They were a little bit more on point. They pick up the win.
Here is your winner via pinfall. From the BCW Dojo, Tony Rizzo and FPS.
We had the Great Gomez picking up the win in our opener. Slug was just a little too distracted by the crowd. The Great Gomez was able to take advantage and got the victory. Then in our second matchup, we had the Tool and Fancy Dan. We had Fancy Dan hitting that Dan D maneuver, smashing the Tool's face right into the mat, and he evens up the score. The rivalry is now 1-1 for each man. Will they have a rubber match coming up? We're going to find out. And then as we just seen in our 6-man main event, it was the BCW Dojo picking up the win. Tony Rizzo and crew, they just had a bit more going for them, a bit more synergy, and they picked up the win. I don't know if this rivalry between the two is over, but as for tonight, BCW Dojo pick up the win. And then next week, night 2, we have Amir Man taking on Cameron Lewis. We also have Grizzly Mac going one-on-one with Isaac Taylor. We got the 2 biggest men in BCW. We got Victor Payne versus Tofik. And in the main event, World Tag Team titles will be on the line. We have the undefeated Exiled taking on the undefeated Game Changers. Thank you for joining us, everyone. We'll see you in the next one for Night 2 of Urban Warfare.
Rizzo, I don't care what the outcome of the match was. You are still a loser in my mind. I am a champion, and I train champions. You have never been a world champion, and none of your pupils will ever be either. A true champion is Xing Li. He was trained by my hand, with my methods. He will crush you. If you have the balls, you will face him next week.